What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is another List 7. This one in particular is the 7 most exciting or best looking character models in the game. If you didn't know, there are 691 characters in this game, which means sometime in December we're going to get our 700th character. More than likely, they're going to do something with that. And as we've gone through the years, there are some characters that are good looking, some characters that are super well thought out and exciting, and some characters that, well, at least in terms of their poster art, if nothing else, look just absolutely terrible. But what this video is are the 7 that I personally think, and some of you may have weighed in on our Discord server lists, are some of the absolute best in this game's history. So, without further ado, number 7 is the Usos. We the One. Now, a little bit of personal story on this one. Rusty and I had just started doing the podcast not long before this zombie event happened a couple years ago, and we were doing an episode where we were trying to predict what zombies were going to come out. Now, I said, in fact, I actually predicted like 4 of the zombies, which was weird, but one of the ones, the one that caught people off guard, I predicted that there would be a zombie Usos where it would be both of them in one character. My suggestion was one was on one side and then they flipped around and the other was on that side. So maybe like they each had their own health bar, and when they turned around, the other one, like got hit and then they could turn around again. And one was defensive, one was offensive. That was probably way too much of a mechanic. But surprise, surprise, later that month when they actually brought him out, they brought out this Zombie Tuso, which is kind of like Too Bad from the Masters of the Universe franchise, which, by the way, if they ever do another Masters of the Universe event, Too Bad should be in there just like this. But anyway, it was just a shock across the board. But look at the way they've done this. Like, literally, they have to have the 2 heads interacting. They, one moves its mouth, the other moves its mouth. Like, it's clearly more work on a model like this than would have been if they would have just picked Jay or Jimmy. This, of course, is their gear. Let me change them that way because you can see them actually even better this way. But just the work that they must have put in to make this character work, and how well it does with the stitching down there, the tattoo fading. You can kind of see they're actually different colors. Like the one's kind of the more brown zombie, one's the other green style zombie. Like this one is phenomenal. So number 7, the Usos. Yes, make the list. All right, coming in at number 6. Number 6 is Hornswoggle. Talk about guys. Now we're gonna see his gear here in just a second, but talk about guys that I never thought would be put into a WWE Champions game. But Hornswoggle not only looks phenomenally good, they got his little manic energy thing going on very well that the actual Hornswoggle tended to have when he was out. But behind the scenes, I know just from some of the conversations I've had with people at Scopely that this character took a lot of work to make happen. In fact, the hit detection, all the ways that the moves had to be reworked for him, it took a lot to make this character happen. And the fact that we have him in the game is just cool. And then, of course, you've also got these like cutesy gator and baby cow outfits that they came out with for... I have to move the bar so you can even see them. That they came out with for Halloween this year, 2025. And all the way around, just some great character to have in the game. Great for representation of not just an entire community that has probably been misused and mocked in WWE's history more than they ever should have, but certainly have Hornswoggle as like the pinnacle of of smaller statured wrestlers. The fact that he's in the game, that he's such a good fighter, and that they did such a good job on his character model all the way around, just earns him a spot on this list. All right, number 5. 5 is cheating, but I'm going to go with all of the recent Hall of Fame reworks. I know that's cheating. That's cheating, right? But take a look at this Goldberg right here, and then we're going to take a look at some of the past models. Like, see how well defined he is, how he looks like a shiny statue, and even when you go to this version, he looks bronze. Like he's supposed to, right? But then you go back to other Hall of Fame characters, especially those who are the older model ones. They range from okay, like Scott Hall's got some pretty decent looks about him, to some that just look like muddled clay. The colors are duller. They don't shine. A lot of times with certain characters, especially depending on what device you're using, their features just like blend in and they end up becoming like just a blob. They've gone back through and fixed a bunch of them. So like China, you can see now that you can actually get like the choker that she has on. There was a good stretch where literally it just kind of like blended into her neck. It looked really bad before, but now the Hall of Fame characters, see like that, he just kind of looks yellowish, like dirt, not like the bronze look like they're supposed to, but just kind of there. And even the gold was sometimes indistinguishable from the bronze. Like, actually, I think this looks better as like the bronze statue than it does as a gold statue. And the results as they go are worse. Now, they did say, and they are doing revamps on the Hall of Fame characters. Oh, there was Dusty. Let's go with Dusty. And so they don't look like they did not long ago, but you can even start to see it here. Like some of the features just kind of blur together. These are getting fixed up. Like months ago, if I would have shown you this and done this video, they literally just look like they just like smudged a shirt on top of some of these characters. It was looking really bad. And so one of their goals, has been to kind of go back through and rework all of these. But yeah, for a while there, they were looking pretty rough. But you get into the newer ones, and they just look really good. They look well defined, and especially I think bronze is actually my favorite color now on all of these. I mean, just straight up, it looks like a Hall of Fame statue. It looks bronzed and really well defined. Like even how you can see the stitching down on these still, the knee pads like hidden underneath, the crinkle behind the back of the knees. Like there's just some really neat looks on these guys. They're really well done, and I think the more they update these, the better the character models look sharp. Number four of the best character models in the game. This one has a little bit of a heartstring tug to it, but I'm going to go with Muscleman Bray. There was, of course, a desire for a good Bray Wyatt in the game. The Fiend had a very, very limited shelf life before he was borderline unusable, and then Bray got fired from the company. They reworked Xavier Woods' striker is what was actually Eater of Worlds Bray, and so they removed an entire Bray Wyatt from the game. And then when they announced that they were going to bring in Muscleman for the 8th anniversary, it was just like, oh, thank you. And they did such a good job with him. He's doing the Muscleman dance. The tattoos look sharp. They look crisp. The pants, the fanny pack, all the way down to it. You can just get the energy of Bray Wyatt's Muscleman dance moments. And so for the fact that, one, I love Bray, two, they did such a good job with this model, I am giving the fourth spot to Bray Wyatt, Muscleman. All right, number three. Number three is going to go to one of my favorite characters in the game. Yes, it's cheating because I do have him, but I honestly think they did a really good job with him as well. I'm going with Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville looks, and I know this sounds weird, he looks like Johnny Knoxville. The reason why that matters, you'll see in another version of this list, there's often times where you put a character out there and it's kind of like, is that really them? That doesn't look much like Sonya Deville, sorry to say. But in this case, Knoxville looks just like Knoxville. He's got all the mannerisms. They did a great job of getting the little superhero outfit. The cape has just the right amount of flinging to it. His hair, his glasses, all perfect. And then when you get into the game itself and see the animations, like when he rolls the bowling ball into their area, it is just so fun. And considering the fact that this is a character that literally they put out for one weekend only, just Black Friday, Jack Friday event, and then you could never get him again, to put this much detail and good, like the face just looks so much like Johnny Knoxville. It seems like that's a real win. So for me, Johnny Knoxville, one of the top character models in the game. All right, from someone that almost nobody can get to someone everybody should have got if you played the game in October, we are going to go with Zombie Sheamus. Now, for whatever reason, when you're in this screen, he no longer smokes, like he's on fire. But when you're fighting, he still does. So, maybe you give him a little knock there. But I would honestly say this is probably my favorite look of a zombie that they've done. Again, especially in battle, when he's smoking, when he's embering. The way that they made Sheamus's famously bright hair look like this wonderful color crayon of fire. Looks so good. He's wearing a vest. I'm not wearing one right now. I often wear vests like that. I love those. And then they just got this smoldery burnt marshmallow look. And although I'm not ultimately a fan of the sticks going into him like that, it does tell a story of campers who were, roasting marshmallows and one of them came alive, or Sheamus came out of the campfire and he was on fire and they're like, stab him, get rid of him. They stabbed him with them and ran off. This one's a hot dog skewer. You can see the little hot dog on it. And then the rest are marshmallows. They just did such a good job of Sheamus. He has this great look about him that I just think, man, everybody should just enjoy and love. So, for those reasons, Sheamus is number 2 on my list. Now, before I get to my favorite character model in game, I want to give just a couple of honorable mentions real quick. And one of them is for Mountain Andre. Monstrous Mountain Andre. His design's a little too simple, so that's why I didn't put him up there as one of the top ones, but he definitely captures the colors on him are that clay stone kind of color, and similar to Sheamus, he's got the fire look, but it's breaking out from under the rocks. He's got some great move animations, everything that Stay Puft later had. This Andre got first, which I think is just awesome. So yeah, honorable mention to Monstrous Mountain Andre the Giant right there. And now, without further ado, the number 1 character design in all of WWE Champions history goes to Seth Rollins, Mutant Messiah. No secret, Seth has been my favorite look character, even though I can't stand Seth Rollins in real life as a wrestler. That should tell you how much I enjoy this character model. The metal look of him, so he's kind of like a Colossus meets like this metal purple fusion. You can see on his face the technocratic elements that are like creeping into his eyes, creeping over his face, the blank eyes with the purple, like you could just imagine bionics to them, all the way down to this little design, like these little hexagons, octagons, like right here in the color, but the way they blend so seamlessly to his orange hands. And then the heavy metal punk rock jacket. I love the punk rock pants, and then the hair. Like if you were going to pick Seth Rollins' hair color versions, this just does such a good job of capturing that spirit, and it's just so neat. Now, shout out to Pelkey. If you haven't seen the video, Pelkey did make me a custom Seth Rollins figure. It's actually at my office, so I wish I could just put it like right here and be like, look at this guy again. But check out that video, the Pelkey unboxing video. It is so neat. And yeah, the reason like I thought of this list even was because of that. Like Pelkey reached out to me and was like, hey, who's your favorite character in Champions? And I was like, well, what do you mean? Like as a fighter, it would be these people. I was like, no, like by look. Who's your favorite looking character in Champions? I was like, oh, that's easy. It's got to be Mutant Messiah, Mutant Seth. He is by far my favorite, best looking character model in the entire game. So that's my 7. Let me know what you think, and also let me know who you would put as one of your 7 in the comments section below, because these videos are designed to include community interaction so that maybe, just maybe, we'll have another 7 best looking character models or renders in the game, and I'll feature your comments in the mix for that. But until then, like the video, subscribe to Champions Chat, because we come out with about 2 videos on average a day, most of which are very helpful, and it's something that would be a benefit to your friend or faction mates if you liked it and then sent it on to them. Let me know what you think, and then we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.